last week we have not approved requests and we kept pending, right? Some of them we kept pending because I want to give some more overview on how this GRC test scripts will be developed and how this GRC test scripts, while performing testing, how this test scripts or test scenarios we will design, and also as well as we will submit the evidence or we will complete the testing. I just want to go through one test case on high level so that the testing in the real scenarios. Okay, for we have submitted the request and how to test the request. I'm just giving take one example. So the scenario is user will submit two requests, two roles, and one role should be rejected by role owner and second role should have risks. The single role should risk and it goes to SOD approver, then security stage will approve. Okay, first manager, out of two roles, one role should be rejected, second role should be approved by manager and role owner as well. Then because of SOD, it will divert to SOD path. SOD then maybe he will just for testing purpose, he can hold the request, then again he will release the request and approve. Then security stage will approve the request. So this is the scenario. So generally what we will do, we will prepare the test case, starts with the request submission. So generally, what are the mandatory details that needs to submit on the request? That should be on the first step. The either a test ID or our self ID. Preferable is test ID. So that needs to be mandatory fields like first name, last name, user ID, email ID, and manager. And depends if our trigger based on company, then it needs to be maintained company as well. And along with the description and business process. This is what first we have developed the test script. Once this is completed, then probably we will just attach the screenshot, respective screenshot. Similarly, before submitting the risk, maybe this is still continue. So once we will add the roles, then we will perform the risk analysis. Here we will submit the request. Request submitted, successfully submitted. Then request number, whatever the request number generated, everything we will capture the screenshot. Once we will submit the request, then manager should get email notification. Generally this will start configuration. So as soon as we submit the request, then email will trigger to manager because we will maintain the notification settings in the workflow, work inbox. Then once manager receives the email, he will log in and he will go to NWBC, search request, or maybe he will check what whether it is a manager stage or anything like kind of a open request and check the audit log. Once this is done, once he approves, then the role owner, one, first we have selected two roles, right? First role should be rejected. So this is line item level request. How it will looks like. Oh, sorry. So this is a line item level because here it is one role only we have selected. Assume we have selected two roles. So the first role should be the action is line item level. So the comments and submit. The second role directly, second role owner, he will approve the request. He will change the comment and approve. Then the second role approver approves. He will submit. Then it will partially diverted because of SOD. Once it will goes to SOD, then the internal control team. Here SOD is internal control team. SOD. So he will approve the request. And we can check. This is for administration thing. We can just once the SOD approver approves the request, we will check the audit log on what stage and what is the current approver. So the security team, they can hold. I was sorry because I thought it's SOD, but security stage we can hold the request. Then we will release the request. Here,
Greece, I have a question. This is done in development system before it goes to QA, right?
no, it's not like that. Yeah, development system only. Like that depends. Okay, one minute. So I have holding the request. Okay, I will release the request. This is temporarily, maybe he needs some clarification from the user, or by mistakenly they did it instead of reject, they may selected or they may forwarded, or maybe they want to the manager or the concerned security team might be they transferred. Generally, security team is not, but take a business scenario. Maybe manager or role owner, he was moved from one department to another department. So that is the reason might be he can hold the request. Or might be user is on long leave, but he has submitted the request. So on what purpose he has submitted the request. So to get the details, to know the details, that is the reason probably the approvers can hold the request. So they will release. So once he releases and approves, then backend system we will check the audit log and validate whether the user is created or not. And the same steps was repeated. We will attach the screenshot one by one. The same step. This is how we will develop a script. Whatever the stages or workflow paths we will configure. Based on that, we will develop the script. This is SOD stage. If both roles doesn't have, suppose one role is rejected and second role does not contain any risks, then ideally it should approve. It should not go to SOD. That is another scenario. So like this, you can develop as much as business cases, test scripts. We will submit the evidence to the internal audit or project team or any upgrade work, any of the project, GRC project. This is how we will develop the test scripts and submit the evidence. So I want to discuss before going to approve the request. So that is the reason I just keep hold of all the requests. Don't worry, we will share this one test script document as a reference for everyone, so that you can plan for your project. Maybe there's not the same number of stages, but you can plan how to develop the scripts. You have a, based on this test script, take a reference. Then maybe you can develop business use cases as per your project requirement. Any questions? Hello, hello. Am I audible?
No, Krish.
Okay. Pratap, was that answer your question? Are you
Hi,
okay?
Krish.
Are you okay? Last week
Yes,
you
I'm
only asked, right? Why we have to approve the request. I just want to discuss the test script. That is the reason we keep hold for the request. Okay, now this is a change account. I'm just approving the request. This is manager stage, change account, username test new 40. Now it's owner stage. So we need to run the risk analysis. Yes, it has a risks. So SOD part 2000. So this is 2000 part. It has basically two stages, manager and role owner approve. Now, based on SOD, it triggers to SOD part. Now 2002 stages completed, SOD part. So again, risk analysis is mandatory. And I just want to highlight one more thing. I am approving a request as admin because I need to log into each and every user, which will take time. But for a testing purpose, you need to log in with appropriate user. So now change account. So the change account is completed. So the backend system test new 40. So test new 40, 9 by 9, the date with stamp, and test assign one row. Even you can provide change documents, might be a big user created. So you can also provide the change documents for that particular request. That is what we have discussed the last step. Here, validate the user is created in the SAP system. You have to attach the screenshot. Always make sure you have to capture with timestamp so that it will be very easy for audit. Otherwise, they will ask to retest the complete scenario if we have not captured the timestamp. So similarly, firefighter request. This is for FF owner. Okay, before going to approve the firefighter request, so as of now, we have configured the complete workflows for access request specific. Even the initiator and whatever the agent, direct mapped, different agent types, direct mapped, the standard API and groups and roles. Everything that is a process ID specific. Now, we want to configure firefighter workflow. So first we have to select the process ID. On the first stage, you can click on change. Okay. Then maintain rules. Since everything is standard, we don't require any customization. If required, then we will create. Otherwise, we don't require. We can select only standard details. What we have to do is only one step. Default path. The owner agent ID will be does not map in the standard all the workflows. So we just need to map the standard agent ID, controller agent, and anyone approved. So since we don't require any routing enabled conditions, so we will always keep no for the routing.
Grish, one question. There may be too many of these firefighter owners. So how do you distinguish to which one it should go?
No, that is based on mapping. Now, if it is two owners, it will go two owners.
No, for example, for firefighter ID for FI is somebody else, and firefighter owner somebody else, and for SD it is somebody else. So there are two different. So still we'll have to make BRF plus there.
No. See.
No, for example,
wait,
there are about 10. No, I've seen the case. There are 10. Suppose there are 10. Okay.
No, in the FFID it will be map, right? The controller.
The complete
right. So
mapping of owners and controllers in NWDs. Okay.
Yeah, but there can be 10 different controllers. Then it will go to all 10 different people.
Definitely. See.
Okay. So we cannot say that okay if it as an ST request for ST should go to the ST firefighter controller. That cannot be do, right?
That is a standard agent, just only, nothing else. Okay. Since we have a doubt, we can clarify. Wait. I don't know who are all maintained. One minute. This is already assigned. Well, I have selected one. So then one. Okay. Hmm. Result for that.
Girish,
Hmm.
one firefighter ID will have only one owner and one controller, right?
No, it was not supposed to be.
One can have many owners.
Yes, we can map 5 owners. We can map. That is what I'm doing.
Okay, okay.
You can map as many. It's not, there is no limit. So we selected this person. Firefighter ID. Okay. Right now, so two persons mapped. Okay. This is Ravi FFID. So then controller also. Okay.
So, Grish, this user would be created in the GRC system, correct?
The users, no, I don't think so. This user is not exist. So this user is not exist. Otherwise, a valid point.
Yeah, those it exists. It will not. There is no user ID.
Why it is not showing? Already, I have submitted request for. Don't think so. System will allow because I have submitted one request. Let me check.
So my thing is, you can only assign firefighter ID
See,
if the user already exists. If the user already exists in GRC
I want
system.
to show the owners. To owners it will show. If you map 10 users, 10 approvers it will show.
So Subara already existed in GRC system.
Yes.
That's why you can see it. But if you have to, for us to assign firefighter ID to any user, his user ID should be existing in GRC.
Yes. All
It is not created.
ID users should exist in the GRC system.
Correct. Okay.
So this is how the approvers will be identified. Let me, I will submit, because I think I have submitted. Yeah, there is already open request. Cannot submit this. This is the reason I have tried to go for another user. But yeah, it will notification will go to both approvers. There is no issue with that. Okay, I am coming to workflow. Okay. The mapping SPM control and nothing. So we just need to add notifications. The work item and the custom.
Girish, just had a question here. So, is there any other way to send the notification other than this configuration here?
Other than this
configuration,
you can send notification here. As soon as the request submitted, you want to send the notification to approver, you can send notification. One is user and the current approvers. This is also possible.
yes.
Instead of requester, you can send work inbox request. Once the event is request submitted, first we will send the notification to submitted user. Okay. Maybe for firefighter controller it is not possible, but you can send notification to approvers here, current approvers. But okay, once I will save, then I will show the same case in access request. There is a approved submitted template ID will be available here, and work item also. But request submission for a user, I think it will be from approver stage only maybe. But you can also send notification from global template. Firefighter logs, right? I think firefighter logs only work in box. It is not with the user. So that is the reason might be it is not exist. But whereas the GRC access request, we will get the notifications in access request. But for firefighter logs, system will automatically take it up and it will send notification to approvers. That is the reason user related information will not exist. So once this is the standard mapping, not saving the transfer, just so this is activated. So this is how you can activate the process ID, just mapping on the fifth stage the standard agent. Let's come to answer your question. Here, request submission. Because user related any information, even you can send to requester or user or current approver. Anybody you can select once the request submitted. But whereas a firefighter is a concept for only approver related. So that is the reason we are not able to find any user related information in the receptor, only approvers.
Hmm.
So yeah. Now back to um,
Girish,
yes.
can you open this access request once?
1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This when we are placing an access request here, this provisioning these things comes by default from where it is coming.
Sorry, sorry.
No, no. When we are raising a request,
Mm-hmm.
like provisioning here, development, and here assign all these values comes by default from where it is coming.
Again, you are asking the same question. 1 minute. You might remember connector configuration. There is a status of the connector. The environment,
Okay,
connector status. We will
okay.
based on this. But whereas a business role, you can get all by default. That is irrespective of landscape.
Then that assign also from here only.
Assignments.
No, no. If you raise one request, no, we can find some this value to I am sure from here it is coming.
No, the status only it is coming from here. Okay, I have submitted a request. Okay,
Yeah, this one, this assign.
this one.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, this is like a standard action. No? As soon as the role
Okay,
selected, it is a standard action. This is 006 in the provisioning action.
okay,
If it is a remove, then 009 in the provisioning table. You will find this information on GRAC REQ Prov item or Prov log table. You can combine those two tables, then you can get the details.
okay.
Now we'll go to firefighter. Status. I want to approve this request. This is user ID super. Okay, super. So request approved. Now I don't know logs will generate or not, but we try. I don't think so. analysis completed, then we'll see any data. I don't think so. Oh, super. No. So one request will automatically go to controller, two controllers. Just now we have configured, so it will go to two controllers. Now we want to open in administration, check the status. Why on the top? So I have created user because we will get the change documents. Purposefully I have used user. So for some of the standard tables you will get the complete table and all the details.
Girish, do you think that we can do the auto approval like for the firefighter log, or you cannot do that?
Sorry?
Firefighter log report is there, right? Is there any way that we can auto approve the log?
No. It should be reviewed. It's a very
Should be
complex
reviewed.
issue. It's a very high level compliance issue. It cannot be possible. Even it won't agree. Even the proposal also. It cannot be approved. See, the firefighter concept is whenever there is emergency access required in the production system, you need to configuration perspective, IT user will go and modify something, table data or mass upload or anything. That has to be reviewed, right? That has to be reviewed and approved. Actually, nowadays everybody is 15 days or they are increasing because of load burden. They are increasing the data review time. Instead of 15 days, instead of they are keep on increasing. But SAP for a standard best practice, it should be reviewed by within 3 days. Assume I will give one example. Okay, some data which is respect to currency, any financial data. Okay, some financial consultant he requested firefighter access. He must change the currency instead of euros to some pounds or something. The same transactions, everything will got reflected in all the SAP level, right? Unfortunately, this log was not reviewed from 30 days, but the consultant will left the organization. Then who will bear the mistake? The mistake is already happened. Somebody has changed, and it was in appropriate time. Ideally, SAP suggested it should be reviewed by 1 day or at least within 3 days. So that if the mistake is there, then at least they can correct the mistake. After 30 days, they are not able to identify. Once they have identified, but the person who has made the mistake, he was already left the organization. So, which is big financial loss for the company and as well as the vendor.
Yeah. That's right.
So,
yeah, but the question was, other question, right? So, well, so Girish, I mean, in GRC it's not possible, but there are other softwares it's possible, provided you know what you requested versus what you use consumed.
no. See, Possible means see, there is something definitely it will be, we can do some ABAP, but ideally that scenario will not work in business area. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, no, I got it. Basically, it's a manual check for the approvers, right?
Yes, definitely,
It's not,
because it is a
it's a manual
configuration
check.
level change, and there is a lot of struggle behind that.
Yeah,
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 we can get
that
something.
makes sense.
But what table and what executed? See, I have purposefully used SU01, but some program, if you take some program and program name details will not reflect in the table. So, and program on debug level also, using debug, somebody has changed some data within the table. We don't know. So, it will be a very big issue. Perpetrator access is very, very sensitive, and we have to deal with the appropriate. Ask at least justification. Okay, I have created user and I have deleted. The approver, the person, he will ask why you use SU01, why you are not reaching to security team. I'm just giving example. So this is how it concerns logs. At least during the forfeiture session, I was not able to explain the practical, but at least we got something. So change logs, since the some of the programs has enabled change logs for a table related, so it will give you the complete and what table, what data it was changed and what field. I'm not able to get any outcome, but since I'm using slash and commands, so that is the reason it is giving system log. Different screens. So this is how firefighter looks like, and they will review the ticket and what activities, and even I forgot to show one more thing. So in the middle of, again we need to take another, in case we forgot transactions, then we will add additional activities during the session, then we can justify the transactions. Adrash or someone has asked firefighter log.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we covered two process IDs.
So Girish, coming back to the workflow, right? So let us say the firefighter owner is no longer available. Will it come back to the escape path or you don't?
Sorry, the firefighter log.
If the firefighter owner controller is no longer the company, so what do we do in MSMP?
Yeah, same. We will enable, we will create the path and we will escape. We will do escape row.
We will create as again
Yeah.
escape path, right? Escape path.
Yes. That is by default for all the workflow process. We can enable, and also even stage level we can, if the approver will not approve, so we can do escalation to specific agent. Maybe we can. This is
So-
the minutes probably. 60 minutes means after 1 hour. Not approved, then it will automatically goes to specific person, because we have only standard agent, so I'm keeping the same agent. But we can create standard agents and we will use in case of escalation is required.
I mean, I'm not talking about escalation here, but yeah, that's a good point. Actually, we can have escalation. Yeah. So
and also I like we discussed reminders, but since the situation is again came, so we will discuss the same thing. We have a facility for each workflow process. this. So this is a batch reminder email. So here for to send the notification, firefighter log review approved. So here we can set 3 days. The first, how many days the pending request? 3 days till 30 days. So it will send 10 notifications within 30 days. So appropriate firefighter log report, just using the standard. As soon as we schedule this, then it will wait for 3 days. Whatever the requests which are pending in 3 days, then it will send the reminder. Then after 3 days, it will send another reminder till 30 days, 30th day. It will calculate the creation date to the pending date, 30 days. Meanwhile, it will send auto reminders every 3 days.
So Girish, what happens if it doesn't approve it in 30
30 days,
days?
it won't send the reminder.
No, say the 30 days over, then what happens?
That
It's the
is,
31st day, then what happens?
we need to forward. We need to keep.
Oh, okay.
Again, we need to search a request. We have to check. That is anyway. Security team, we have to check the date. Maybe suppose created date. You can select. So we will check how many requests are pending. So like this, we will check the date, month. It is more than cross 31 days, then we have to forward this request in the admin, or we will again ask the approval to approve the request. See, that is the reason the SLA must be defined for the during the training. 15 days maximum. Even though it is 30 days, we will send the reminders, but we will mention to approvers only 15 days. You will get only 5 reminders. You will get the reminders, that's it. Not 5 or 10 something. So as soon as you have received reminder, you have to take the appropriate action. Ideally,
Girish, this yeah.
But, yeah.
The template ID is there, right? So do you have to put something out there? It's standard
template.
The template.
Standard template.
Standard template. Okay. And you schedule this job every 30 minutes or
no,
every
daily ones. Display like this. Request number. This is a standard test. So we discussed, right? We need to customize the notification.
Yeah. This is standard one. You don't need to do in this case. Yeah. I mean, you can put the SAP security team something like in the bottom, but you can just modify that. SS61, right?
Yes.
SS61.
SS60.
Okay. SS60, right? Yeah.
SS61.
Okay.
So this is how we will create the test cases, and step by step we will approve. Same the request and logs also we will develop the test scripts for logs as well, controller. So any questions?
Girish, I have one more question here. I mean, it's kind of related to here. So, is there any mechanism like, when you create a firefighter, right? Let us say I'm interested in assigning the controller out there, right? So, is there any way to check like those, checks like, because those are kind of not, it's not mandatory?
Meaning like approver wants to know or
So basically, let's say I set up the new firefighter ID. Okay, I forgot to assign that controller to that user ID. Okay, I have the approver.
okay.
So how do I detect those type of issues?
Yeah,
Like this is the deficiency.
See, this is comes under master data. Okay. We need to,
Exactly.
as a GRC security team or GRC team or both, whatever it may be. So the administrator who is being SME, so he must validate the data monthly once. One of the project we have placed health checks. So we
Exactly.
will voluntarily we will take the preventive actions like we will validate the role owners, like role owners production status, whatever the roles production status, we will voluntarily validate the approvals. And whether the GRC system, whether the users are logged or not, everyone is active. And also firefighter controllers, firefighter owners, and mitigation owners and mitigation controllers. These are comes under master data. So we will always keep an eye. So that we will avoid the incidents. User submit. So user already submit the incident and he is waiting. Almost 3 days, the role owner, the request comes to role owner bucket and role owner left the organization or maybe role owner inactive. So the request got failed. Then again user will submit the incident. It will goes to L1, then comes to L2, then it may take, if you take consider the gap, it may take another a week time to resubmit the request. So to avoid this time lag or maybe time instead of user submit the incident then reactive, we will do the preventive action. We will voluntarily do the master data check.
I see. So basically, it's a manual check. So there is no process control around it. PC.
Develop the custom program, but I'm just giving you example. We have a standard tables.
Yeah. So
we can develop the script, create SQBI queries, or maybe we can, with help of developer, develop a program.
Yeah, so the reason I'm asking the question, we had the deficiency, the writers put that, red mark out there. It's a deficiency because someone submitted something and he left the organization. He forgot to, assign the controller to that firefighter. The log didn't go, so it's a red.
See,
so
this is a problem where you can face multiple companies within the organization. And
I see.
A huge number of users. So one of our project was around 15,000 standard users, but it has a split in different regions and it has across the globe, and also business units are 25 business units, company codes. So 25 company codes, then primary backup, all the owners, and each business process consider each company code. They have a finance, sales, everything, right? All the business process, 2-3 business process. So the role owners master data will be very huge, and we don't know guarantee who is active, who is not active, and we are receiving incidents weekly, at least 5 to 10 incidents.
Okay, so now so it's not new then. So I thought it's okay.
Yeah, to avoid that situation,
it's happening
we have proactively suggested these health checks so that almost a month, consider month, 30 incidents we can say instead of 40. 30 incidents we are avoiding with this health checks.
So how do you close the risk? So in the case, how do you close? What is the justification for that?
Justification? No, it's not kind of a justification.
No.
It's a business decision, right? They and also
Yeah.
approvals. But even though we have set up the reactive action and expecting incident from users, we will voluntarily working in the system. So we are
Okay.
always
So basically,
yeah, we are always
yeah.
checking, but that is only manually. We have proposed for automation, but some budget constraints, the customer was not approved. So daily, manually, monthly, we are checking one time.
So when you say doing monthly one time, what steps you you do that, Girish? Sake. So you go to tables and tables, and
Yes,
you stick the records.
Yeah, GRSC role approver table. That is where we can get the complete roles information. First, we will go to GRAC role. Then we will get the role ID. Then we will go to role approver. We'll place the role, the complete role IDs, and we will extract the data. Similarly, we have a mitigation. There are HRT 5432, 5430, probably two tables. If you want, I can share the list, but I don't remember. HRP 5430, HRT 5432. Two tables are there for the mitigation related. And firefighter GRSC FF owner. So that is a standard table. And controller also same. GRSC FF controller. So we will extract the data, but we will compare USR01, sorry, USR02 in the GRC system. Everything.
Right. So always, that both tables should match, right? It shouldn't be blank anywhere.
User should be active. User should be active. That is our primary objective.
Okay.
Suppose if you have extracted 10 roles, there are 20 approvers. All the 20 approvers in the GRC system should be active. GRC system. Forget about the backend system, but GRC system, they should active.
And one more question, I mean, it's coming to the same lines, Girish. Because you're talking about MSMP workflow, everything, right? So the question is like, so for example, right? So I have project going on, okay? I have to enable cutover ID access, is that access type, okay?
Request type, and you can create, you can provide access to firefighter. That request type.
No, I'm good. I already have the firefighter. I'm good with firefighter. So firefighter is only valid for only 3 days, right? But cutover activity is happening only a couple of weeks and all, right? So in the system for the new project. So after 1 month, I want to disable that the total workflow.
Okay.
So
see, if you have created a separate workflow, that is fine. Okay, you can create separate workflow and you just maybe deactivate. That is not a big deal. Go to the request type and you can inactive that request type.
So I go back to the MSMP workflow again and deactivate it.
No. Here, request type active or inactive.
Oh, I see. Makes sense. Okay. If I uncheck here, no.
It won't display anytime. Suppose information, right? Okay.
You need to open the system for that, I guess. Yeah.
So it won't display.
Okay.
So this is one.
So right now what we are doing, I understand. So right now what we are doing is we are just removing the firefighter identifier for those IDs.
That's what I'm about to come. So this is one
Huh?
approach. Second approach is you
Yeah.
can remove firefighter identifier role from the backend system.
Remove it. The problem is right. So system is not identifying the delimitation of the role. That's a problem with GRC. So that's why we had to remove the total role. Yeah, that's our issue with the GRC. So that all came back. Okay.
Okay, now last week we discussed the tomorrow we will plan for the complete end-to-end one more session for the we will discuss on the agent role since it is same agent role. So we have time, right? Still 20 minutes. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, we have created as of now initiator, but we have not created any agent rules. So if you want to create any custom agent rule using BRF plus, whatever the agent, say many to many condition. Say I have a different company codes, 10 company codes, each company code separate approval. This cannot be possible with us, whatever the three methods. Maybe user group it will be possible, but we have to create multiple workflows, like how we have created different BRF plus applications based on the company code here. It may increases the number of paths based on the company code. So this is our initiator role. So we have created for create an account and new account, new account and change account for each company code. So each company code on the identifier, we will create a separate user group. Instead of that, we don't want to trigger the company code. Only the SOD compliance manager based on the company code. Probably this will reduces the number of paths. Suppose if it is a 10 companies, then company will be placed for initiator rule. Maybe if it is a business requirement, then it is fine. But if 10 companies, maybe expecting another 10 companies, then it will comes under maintenance issue, because everything will be going to same path. Approvers anyway, it will identifies users manager will come from LDAP or data source, no issue. And role owner anyway during the role import for each company specific, we will map the appropriate role owner. There is no issue. SOD maybe based on the company code, we will identify the approval. Maybe that is a special requirement, or we will use the based on the business process. Anyway, we will be fine. Or based on the risk ID, maybe basis business process for all the companies, we will use the approval, the same approval for all the companies. And finance risk, maybe we will use for all, if company okay. But companies may different regions may not agree. Everybody they have their own setup, and each company code they have specific dedicated SOD approvers. So in such a case, instead of company code, we will identify the SOD owner based on the company. That will reduces the maintenance. Are you getting me? We will remove the company in the initiator rule. We will just use the same path. Maybe create one separate path, change account because of number of stages. We will use two different paths. Create account one path, change account one path instead of company. If it is a company, maybe 10 companies, we have to create 10 company trigger values because the stages will be the same. 3 stages, 2 stages. There is no difference. So as soon as the company is getting increased, our workflow maintenance will increase. So in such a case, maybe since we are using trigger point, I'll go with the same scenario. But for approver, to identify the approvers, user group will be the option if it is multiple companies. Otherwise, we will create a custom BRF plus to identify the owner because we have a multiple inputs, different company codes, 10 company codes, many values, many output values, 10 different approvals. So how we will create the custom BRF plus application? Same GRC, workflow for access control, define workflow related MSMP rules. Same process.
Question for you. Here you're trying, Grish, here you're trying to create SOD approvals, or in case in SOD for that company code, will go to that approval, right?
Yes. See, for
Yeah.
current scenario business cases, based on the company code, we need a separate approval. That's it. But based on our requirement, based on the business process, you can create. There are so many inputs. Like how we have identified the input values, right? I'll show in the system. So we can select that. So here earlier we have selected initiator role. Now we will select the agent role and get underscore agent. I'm using the same thing, custom. Last one, BRF plus flat rule by. Now we'll go with option 1, method 1. So first we will select the headers. So mostly generally we will use in the company or maybe location. If any specific plant or any locations, probably we will use the location or business process. Mostly on the business process or functional area. Only these 4 or 5 might be we will use, but rest of the things we will use, but same header values will be displayed. Even department, you can use the department also. So right now I will select the company as my input. Based on the company, the approver needs to be identified. So here the validity period same as initiator. Till now no change, only the initiator earlier I have selected, now agent rule I have selected. So I'm executing. So the application has created. Now log into BRF plus transaction code. Here the SOD agent, expression decision table. Since I have selected item, so it will be automatically created SOD agent. Okay. I think last week somebody was not available. So for those team members, so if we have not selected header and item in this particular screen, in the BRF plus screen, we have to select on the application. We can select create expression decision table. So manually we need to create on the decision table in the BRF plus application. The process is everything will be same. Okay, this is method 2. And method 3 we will discuss. Okay, method 3 in the functions. Here we can directly, if I click on edit, we can create decision table. Here I will select the decision table. This is method 3. So we will create decision table in any of the ways. In the Pro, in the application level, in the function level. All the 3 methods we can create decision table. Okay, since we are following the method 1, so the decision table is already created. So this is a standard issue where the line item key is not required. 1 minute. Edit. Click on edit, table settings. So I'm just removing. Based on the company, the rule result values automatically displayed, added here, the same like initial. So what it contains, the company is the input value, line item key is the mapping value. Here the rule result column, it consists the user ID, recipient ID, recipient type and recipient ID. Here we will maintain direct values, company code 1000, Z100. So maybe I will select the approval name, might be SP admin. So here recipient type, here we have two options, always email. Here I will select the email ID. So spadmin at abc.com. Second. So I'm selecting the company code 2000. So this is a free test. You can maintain any value. No issue with this. So I'm selecting. So here role owner @abc.
Girish,
Yes.
here can we give more than one in the user ID?
Meaning with the same company, you can give.
Yeah. In same company, 2 or 3 user IDs.
You can. Meaning?
No. For example, in company code 1000, we are having 3 user IDs here, and we will have to give the mail ID also, right?
You are giving user ID. You can give that particular user ID mail ID. What is the issue with this?
Okay, okay. No, no, I thought in one line only we can give two or three values together.
No, I'm just giving different values in the free test because each one will be whatever the inputs, so the values will be different, right? So I'm just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is how many inputs, many output values. So here also same case. Okay, do not maintain a multiple inputs. Same like uh, initiator. Why? Because within the company, if you want to add a business process, suppose you want to add business process, okay, the provisioning action by default it will be selected in the column. That is the reason it is displayed. So if you want, you can do that. You can remove unnecessary fields. So here the company, I have added business process as additional input. The problem with this adding additional value, if you observe 14, okay, 14 values of business process are existing in the system. So you need to maintain 1000 for 14 business process for 1000 and 14 business process for 2000. If it is the same owner, then again maybe a specific to any special business you can maintain the same approval. But per company, you need to maintain 14 values, even though same approval. Or you need to add multiple line items. Meaning, two values earlier, sorry, three values, okay. Consider only company code is unique. Two values earlier. If you're adding business process, which is around 28 values, 14 plus 14, as soon as you are increasing the input number of inputs, again the maintenance will be very difficult. We need to check this owners SOD agents whether everyone will be active or not as a master data check. It will be very difficult during the maintenance. Okay, any questions?
So, Girish, why are we just targeting the business process only here? We can target anything, right? If you go back,
No, you can
yeah,
you can
you
select.
can target for anything, right? Yeah,
Okay, maybe you can take department. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
let
So you can
let
target
me. I
anything.
will
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to mention one more point. I think we discussed. Come on. Hello, hello.
Yeah, Girish, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, Girish.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Girish.
Okay, some network connection with me. I lost. Okay, I just want to Again, one more thing, but okay, here last time we discussed request header and request line item. Request header means you want to take any of the input value during the request submission, feeding any value from request submission. That is request header. The request line item is nothing but during the request submission, you will select any of the role. So that role property, it will consider the line item, request line item. Whatever the role you are submitting, it will take the properties. Why this is required means, if you are not diverting your SOD role owner based on the company, suppose might be company will go process. The problem with a business process is, suppose I have selected by default basis because of it's mandatory, I have selected the value by mistake, and you have selected different roles, maybe finance or any other business process. The review, during the review, it will goes to basis approval during the SOD, which is not correct, which is a audit compliance. So in this case, you must select request line item. Whatever I have selected the role, finance role, based on the during the role import, we will maintain the business process as finance. Then same we will maintain in the approval based on the business process. So ideally, we have the request consists of finance role, OTC role like SD role, then maybe P2P. I'm just giving a different scenario. So all the three roles consist risks. So then it will go to, during the SOD time, it will goes to finance, SD and P2P approvals. It will be reviewed if we select the request line item as business process. Otherwise, if we are selecting header, then it will goes to basis, which is not correct. So make sure that you have to set approvers during the SOD diversion.
Girish, can you make a slide explaining both these, access request line item and request header? So then it will become.
Yeah. Okay, let me check.
Yeah, with an example. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, suppose might be functional area. You can select, I don't know whether the functional areas are maintained or not. Let me check. Okay, three functional areas. Assume these three functional areas. Okay, even though three functional areas for companies, we have 5 companies, I think. Yeah, 5 companies. 5 into 3, 15. So even 15 approvers we need to maintain. So you can take any value. Maximum you can restrict one value, so that it may be one approver or maybe 2 approvers for same company. It will be fine. Otherwise, as soon as you are increasing the values, the maintenance definitely will be very difficult. Any questions? Hello.
Yeah. So Girish, so this is only for the SOD, right? We are talking about. So this scenario comes only in this only
No,
for
no, no,
SOD or any other
no. I have
scenarios?
created agent for SOD. Okay. See, you can create, maybe last time we have system agent, right? For each system. We have created different
Okay.
scenarios, right? I don't want to go with that. Maybe BPO, business process owner, maybe system agent, so department head, any of the thing. While you are creating agent,
Okay.
make sure that you can try to reduce as much as. Don't think that only this is for SOD. This creation of agent ID will be applicable for whenever it is necessary. The process would be same. Based on your input, you need a specific value for the output. You need diversion. But generally, why we will
So
maintain majority will go for SOD. That is the reason we are discussing SOD. But even for system, if you add system, almost in this particular remote desktop has hundreds of systems. There is default value. So default value action would be there. So you need to make sure the value would be system. Now system. Take this one.
okay.
172. I'm giving ideal example. So based on the system, you have to select. But there are some. Um, it will display the complete RFC connections. Might be we will consider only few RFC connection, but yeah, this is one of the example. If it is a system owner identifies, so as soon as you are increasing, then it will. And company code is not required in this scenario. Maybe only based on the system, the approver might be selected. So you can reduce the number of line items based on the system. So once the table is completed, then check, save, activate. This is a decision table level. Then click on function. Again, edit. Still it is inactive. Check, save, activate. Yes. Now in the general function, we have to select the ID. I'm in function, the function ID we have to copy. Application. Edit, check, save, activate. So first decision table, then function, then application. Function ID, then when it comes to workflow, MSMP. So access request, since it is a custom rule, so all the rules must be maintained in maintain rules. Click on add, rule ID, SOD agent, rule type, BRF plus flat by flat rule kind is agent rule. Save. Okay. But generally initiator rule we are adding here. But agent rule we must maintain stage and stage 3 as well. Because this is dedicated to agent. So if it is a routing rule or initiator rule custom, or notification variable rule, we must maintain rules. That is fine. But agent rule, we need to maintain rules and as well as maintain agents. Stage 2 and stage 3. Now you can add agent ID, agent name, agent purpose, approval and notification. So approval means we will use this approver to approve the request. Notification. We discussed last time, there are some situations, probably third party, non-SAP systems or some network teams submit the request for non-third party companies, but we will just send the notification to them. So in such situations, we will use for notification purpose also, we will create the agent. For notifications generally, we will create direct mapped user some system ID. We will create system ID and we will use that notification because we cannot log the system users. So this is for approval and GRC API rule. Again, you can give rule ID. Even if you want, you can give name, same SOD agent, you can give rule ID. Mandatory you have to give. One minute. I have to do one more step before that. So whenever you are adding rule, so make sure that you have to save the object. Sorry?
Z. Yeah, X, Y, G, or Z. Yeah, you need to put X, Y, Z, the G underscore. Yeah.
But why it is yeah. I have not seen the complete message. I thought it was not populated. But always make sure you need to activate, but there is no spaces and everything will not be available. That's what it is. Okay. Now, if you want, we can map anywhere SOD path. So modify task settings. So results. Here, Z SOD approval, right? Earlier it was Z SOD approval is PFCG roles. Now we will use Z SOD agent. So, finished. We will test tomorrow this scenario, and we will, apart from that, we will do one full cycle for contract and permanent for one more session, one more scenario. So, any questions?
So Girish, one more question here. The decision table, right? So right now we are creating in GRC, but let us say the data is somewhere else. Do we create RFC for the decision table?
SM59 only, it will pick up standard values.
So you need to maintain that system ID at the point, right? In the decision table.
Yes, connector. Based on the connector.
Yeah,
it will pick up from the
so right. Oh, I need to put the connector as one of the ID. Okay, one of the field, right, in the decision table.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then I will. Should I give the RFC again or no? It connector thing.
No, just only a connect RFC name only. That's it. Nothing but from that.
So when I look for the connector, system will give that RFC name as well out there.
Yes.
Okay. Because we have, the decision table in some other system, but not in GRC. So that's why I'm asking. So.
I think Tuhan, last week you were not there. Probably that is the reason I want to cover all the three methods.
I'm not there. Oh, did I miss some class?
Tuhan.
No, he's talking.
Tuhan was not there. Okay.
So I just covered the agent rule. We have covered three methods. So from pro or from decision table from the function, we will create the decision table in three ways. All the three methods we discussed last week. So this is how we will create the agents in the MSMP.
Right.
So any questions?
Girish, have you maintained that new agent at the stage level?
That's what. I have mapped that agent, right? So that's what I have just now. I have removed the SOD approval, which is basically PFCG. Now I have mapped the SOD agent, which is BRF plus.
So custom agent is always like API type. When you are selecting, you selected the API agent, right?
Okay, standard roles, right? Also API rules. Okay, and
right.
whatever the custom BRF plus also API rules. Whatever the BRF plus custom which we are creating, that is also API rules. And standard IDs also API rules. All the standard in manager, role owner, current approvers, everything.
So in agent rule, okay, in custom agent rule also, so what SAP recommend maximum 2 or 3 conditions, right? Not more than that.
Yeah. See, the problem is the maintenance. As soon as you are increasing, it will be problem burden for us only. Okay. See, as soon as you are increasing, it is burden for us only. See, if it is you are adding one value, whatever the new value into multiplies by this value. Suppose say 10 companies into 15 business process, 150 line items ultimately. If it is only one value, if it is multiple values, then you have to maintain, right?
No, actually, one doubt. Actually, so in initiator rule, we have selected company code condition as a request type and company, right? So the normal scenario, organizations like we need to consider that as well while customizing the things like what based on the organization, whatever the initiator rule, what condition
So
conditions are
if the UK
we have
companies are
taken into
very less.
consideration. Accordingly, we need to also take the conditions
No, if
while
that
creating
is based
the
on the
agent.
based on the company specific. It is not
Mm,
mandatory that
mm.
we will use the same condition, but it is always better. That's it. This one is always. No, it is always recommended that we will use based on the system.
So there is no relation in between actually initiator and agent, right? Agent is specifically the agent if X and Y Z is conditioned, then this Z approval is there. I mean, agent is there. That is the only thing, right? I mean, for the agent one.
Yes. I got confused. Which is where is our it was not open. Yes. See, this that's what I'm saying. If it is specific, then we will create. Otherwise, anyway, the approval would be the same. So why we would require a separate paths for each company? If it is 1,000, then it will go to 3 stage. If it is 2,000, then it will go to 2 stage. Instead of that, we will create 001 for one path for create account. 002 change account is two stage. It will reduce our burden. As soon as the companies will increase, then it will be a problem. Most of some of the companies they will use only requested, not about that. But some they will use different conditions, um, like maybe role type, role sensitivity. Some of the role sensitivity based on the role sensitivity. If the role sensitivity is low, auto approve. So that also check. But as soon as the values will be increased, it will be difficult for us to maintain. So we have to check each use case, use scenario, what are the associated trigger values and whether it is going or not. We need to check everything. So any other question?
No, Girish, maybe I think something, I mean, maybe I missed something, but just have doubt, like, suppose now we created the agent rule and which is for to determine, suppose, for example, based on this process ID, this is the, for example, XYZ is the approver for basis one, XYZ, and for finance, someone else. So, from the workflow, how it is determining actually, where it is determining?
For a role, you are saying?
No. In workflow, just you maintain the agent, right? So from agent, it is automatically determine that, right?
For a company code, na, since you are submitting request, I have selected the company code, right? I have selected the header
Right.
value. So during the request
Uh,
submission, it will pick up the company as agent. So during the request submission, I will select the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So based on this company, it will divert irrespective of risks. Okay, irrespective of business process, maybe basis risk or anything, irrespective of the person will approve the request. 1,000.
Yes, after submission, for example, this request got fine as SOD. Then, I mean, where exactly it will determine that in workflow?
No, we are not maintaining the business process.
Now, for example, say like instead of this company code, we maintain suppose the business process.
Then we will maintain as an input, right? See, but
Right, right. But in workflow, where it is, I mean, how it will, I mean, what workflow will be there? Like how it will determine where at what stage and path.
okay, see, in the workflow, once suppose take this as an example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the request as soon as the number of stages, right, completed, maybe manager and role owner. In the role owner, we have enabled function module standard routing enabled based on the data value, right? If
Mm-hmm.
it is SOD, you have to go to SOD path. That is what we have mentioned here. If the SOD, then your original path will comes to SOD path, right?
Yes.
Once it is diverted in this particular stage, it will verifies the agent. Okay, on what condition agent will be identified. Okay, SOD path owner should be identified, right? Like role owner, manager. It will check the SOD agent. This agent again a decision table. It will comes the agent ID. Once this particular screen, it will check the company. 1,000. It will identify the approvers. If it is 2,000, it will identify the approver. Irrespective of risks. You understood? Request has SOD, meaning the GRC request has SOD, irrespective of basis risk, security risk, finance risk, whatever may be. It will just identify the agent how it was maintained based on the company code. In the GRC request, you during the request submission, user selected company. Okay, my company is 1,000. Request consists SOD, request maintained 1,000 company code. Then it will goes to 1,000 company code, two approvals. Are you getting?
No, this decision table, yeah, I'm clear, but I'm still, I mean, maybe not clear. Actually, how it get determined, like finance or specific SOD, suppose SU0 and PFCG is security risk, for example,
That's what
and
I'm saying.
how
That's what I'm
it will
saying.
determine this table.
That's what I'm saying. I am maintaining my condition as company, irrespective of risk. That is what I'm stressing. Irrespective of risk. Since I am belongs to 1,000 company code, it will goes to approvers. whether it is a finance risk, whether it is a basis risk, whether it is P2P risk, whatever it may be. If you want to identify based on the business process, then you have to change the condition. You have to insert condition. I'm not reviewing this one. So business process. Temporarily, I'm not reviewing. Based on business process, it will identify the approval. Basis one owner, maybe 2000 again. Basis maybe 1000 APO. So you need to increase the line items. 1000 basis, this person is approval. 1000 APO, this person is the approval. Or if company, if you want, okay, since we have another. Now are you clear? Basis, this person. And here 2000 is not required, so I need to change this value. Cross application, this person. Maybe if it is the same, even same business process, multiple owners also, it will.
Okay, so now things from this table, right?
As soon
SOD.
as SOD violations are exist, it will trigger. SOD violations are exist in the request. Once this is exist, this is my path. Then where it needs to go, SOD path, right?
Right.
Once SOD path, it will comes to SOD path. It will check the agent ID. Who should approve this request, right?
Yes.
Or to whom I need to send this request. System will identify SOD agent. SOD agent will be exist. SOD agent is API rule. Immediately, if the risks are business basis risk, he is the person. If risks are cross application business process, this is the person. If the risks are APO, this is the person. In the role, not risks actually, in the role business process. Suppose I have submitted role basis, I have selected during the request submission. One of the role I have maintained basis business process. And second role I have selected cross application. Third role I have selected APO. Three roles I have selected during the request submission. So it will go to all the three approvals to review the risks. Once these three persons approve, then it will go to next stage. Any question?
Thank you, Girish. No question from my side now.
So Girish, so the decision table come into picture if you go to specific. Otherwise, you have to go for the one like what you configured before standard, right? If you don't have any decision table. I think that was the whole question. I think, right? So that was based on the role in PFCG role. That's what we discussed first.
Yep.
Yeah. So instead of going the role now, you change that path to a decision table. These conditions.
Yes, exactly. I want to test. Just keeping selected the same thing. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Girish.
Thank you, Grish.
Yep.